I don't mess with guys who don't eat kitty kitty meow meow, because one time I went out with this guy who was a promoter, and he was like, hey, I want to take you out on a date. And I was like, cool, that's what's up. So I had him meet me at the Jaspers in Largo, because I don't like people trying to come to my house because I'm a thief. And so he met me at Jaspers, and when we go to Jaspers, I was like, okay, where do you want to go? And he was like, oh, I want to go to the spot in College Park. So we go to College Park, and the spot is really his house. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't mind it, because I'm ovulating and I'm feeling like a dog at this point. So we get into his room, and we're chilling, we're touching and everything like that. So I lean back so he can start eating kitty kitty meow meow, and he was like, oh no, I don't do that unless you're my girl. So I'm instantly turned off and I'm annoyed. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go home. And he's like, oh, all right, like, hold on. And he goes into the next room. And then when I look to my right, I peep that there's a whole bunch of money, because he's a little fake promoter. So I decide to take a stack of money that's off the top, put it in my purse, and I just leave his apartment. And I start booking it, because the apartment, the way it was shaped, the building, the way it was shaped, it was like it was locked unless somebody let you down or whatever. But I took the steps, and then somebody let me out. So then I start booking it all the way to a hotel that was like up at the corner. And then I called an Uber from there, and I got home. And then he texted me and was like, oh, you a royal for that, for leaving. And then he texted me a little bit later and was like, hey, did you take some money from my house? And I didn't say anything. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna just check the cameras. So then I blocked him, and then he texted me from a text now number, and he was like, you just told on yourself. I don't even have cameras, but that's how I know you did it, and that's why I'm gonna get somebody to come F you up. But I was like, find me. And I knew he wasn't gonna be able to find me. So then 2 weeks later, I go on a new date, and I have the guy meet me at Jasper's, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna go to this cute little quick kickback. We go to the kickback, and then lo and behold, he knows the guy, or they're in the same circle. So the little promoter is there, and so he starts spazzing on me or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like acting like I don't know this guy. I'm like, someone please get this black guy away from me. I'm so scared. I'm trying to pull the whole light skin in distress type situation, and it totally worked, because the guy I was with was like, oh, he tripping. So the dude grabs my purse, but lo and behold, that was my favorite rainbow purse, and it had nothing but my rainbow lip gloss and an ID that was expired. And so he's just like, yeah, like he just snatched the purse thinking I would have money in it, but I never carry money when I go on a date, because why would I? So I'm just crying, and I'm like, let's leave. So I get the guy to leave, and he's like, what was that about? And I was like, that's the guy that's been stalking me, and I'm so upset because I had my money in there. You remember I was supposed to go to the bank? So I'm trying to like low-key gaslight this man and make him remember that I told him I needed to go to the bank before I date, which I did say that, but I had already went to the bank. So he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I need that money for my son. I can't believe he has that. Can you go back and fight on my honor? So the guy was low-key a scary person, so he was like, nah, but he was like, you know what, I'm gonna help you out. So he goes to the ATM, and then he comes back with a measly $600, and he was like, this is all I got. So I'm just like, oh man, I guess I'll make it work. I'm gonna figure something out. So I just started bawling, crying. So he felt bad, so I didn't even want him to touch me. So he was like, where can I drop you off at? I was like, hey, take me home. Low key, it wasn't my house, it was another guy's house that I really liked, and I was gonna go chill with him. So he dropped me off at the other guy's house, and I go there and I have fun. And then I wake up to like text messages of the guys like, yo, you're a lying ass bitch, all this stuff. And he was like, bro, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna beat you up, all this stuff. And I was like, catch me if you can, LOL, because they were just going to go to the other guy's house. They weren't even coming to my house. So then I just went back home, and then they kept like texting my phone, and I blocked them both. But then they started texting me from text now numbers, and I was just like, leave me alone. I don't know either of you Negroes. And then the other promoter guy started texting me, and I was just like, well, this wouldn't never happen if you eat kitty kitty meow meow.
I graduated law school, I took the bar. It is custom for you to take a bar trip after taking the bar. I wanted to go to Europe for 3 weeks. I told him in January, hey, I'm gonna plan this trip for us to go to Europe for 3 weeks in August. I'm gonna pay for everything up front now. I'm gonna pay for the flights, for the hotels, for the Airbnbs. You save your money from now until August. When we are in Europe, I don't want to pay for anything. And we'll basically break even, and that'll be the compromise. Well, we got to Europe. I have just taken the California bar exam, the hardest bar exam in the country. Day like 5, his credit card declines. He tells me he actually has no money. He didn't save any money. He does present me with the Cartier love ring in Paris at the Eiffel Tower. I still wear that ring to this day. Thank you, that's my ring. He gives it to me the same day that I learned that his card is completely declining and he has no money. He then presents me this $2,000 ring. I say, why did you buy this ring? Why wouldn't you just have saved the money and then use it in Paris? He goes, oh my God, I thought you were gonna cry. I thought you were gonna be so happy that I got this for you. I was like, no, I'm actually not happy. I mean, thank you. It's a beautiful ring and I've wanted this for a long time, but certainly not under these circumstances. So we spent the rest of Europe kind of tense. And that was supposed to be a really fun, exciting trip for me because I had just finished all of my schooling. I had just finished an exam that I studied 10 weeks nonstop for. I mean, obviously I had to find time, but like it's tainted by that part of it. Strike one. Strike two. We get back from Europe. It's August 2019. Bar results come out November 2019. I already have everything lined up. Assuming that I pass the California bar, I already have my job lined up. So I know what I'm doing and I'm just waiting for bar results. So he still is not sure what he wants to do. My parents loved him. They treated him like a son. Now, you're gonna ask, how could your parents love him with all this stuff? They didn't know any of this stuff. In fact, my dad watches my TikToks. He might be learning a lot of this stuff at the same time you all are. To the outside world, our relationship looked like relationship goals. I know that's hard to believe. We'll know why in another video. So my parents talk to me and they're like, what's going on? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, my parents think that we're going to be married, that we're gonna have kids. That year we took family portraits, like my entire extended family, and my aunt was like, oh, should we put him in it? Like, you guys are obviously gonna get married, like, might as well. My boyfriend tells me that he has an idea of what he wants to do. I say, perfect. I tell my parents this is what he's thinking of doing. My parents are like, okay, well, is he gonna do it? At this point, he's driving for Uber. That's his source of income. In order for him to do the next thing that he wants to do, he needs to take an exam. He needs to study and take an exam. It's like a licensing thing. I tell him, you should be studying to take this exam. He goes, I can't afford to do that right now. I need to Uber. I am like, okay, but I'm about to start my career and it's like kind of frustrating me that like you are still so all over the place with what you want to do. At that point, I wanted to be married and have kids and like buy a house. That's what I wanted. God forbid. And thank God I didn't do that. But at the time, that's what I wanted to do. So I was kind of putting pressure on him like, girl, figure it out. The course that he needed to take, make him eligible to take the exam was $800. Parents are like, what's going on? I'm like, look, he needs $800. He's working, whatever. My parents take us out to dinner and my dad gives him $800. And again, my parents loved him and they thought that he treated me really well. A lot of things were hidden. My dad goes, use this for the course. Parents saw that as like an investment in their daughter's future. Pays for the course, takes the course, passes the course. Now he needs to start applying to jobs. And I'm like, okay, why aren't you applying? Why aren't you applying? Again, same spiel of like, well, I need an Uber, I need an Uber, I need an Uber. I literally say, I will pay you money if you apply to places. Honestly, my memory on this is pretty fuzzy. I don't remember how much I ended up sending him, if I sent him anything at all, but I do remember having that conversation of, if you apply places, I will send you money every time you send me an application. This is now February 2020. During that time, the world is shutting down, as you know, COVID's becoming a thing, and so times are weird, jobs are weird. He ends up getting an interview at this place. He goes to the interview, he gets hired on the spot. He calls me, he's so happy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Like, this is so great. We go and celebrate dinner the next day. At dinner the next day, he goes, honestly, I just don't think you're like as happy for me as I expected you to be. And I was like, sorry. And he goes, I don't know, like my friends and my family, like they're all super happy for me. They like posted pictures on their like Instagram and Facebooks talking about how proud they are of me. Like, you didn't post anything. I had to bribe you to even get this job. My parents had to pay for your class to get this job. We fought because you would not apply. I had to push you to do this. So forgive me if I'm not as blissfully excited as everyone else in your life who doesn't have to deal with this. Strike two. Strike three was actually, sorry, I just said these out of order. The first strike was I had graduated law school and I was in this rigorous interview process to get the career that I currently have. It was a 3-part interview. I went to round 1, I went to round 2, I was now at round 3. 1,000 people applied for round 1. I got through. There was only 10 spots to get the final position. I made it through to the final round. I was gonna know right then and there if I got hired. I did not want to drive myself because I was so nervous. That position is all I ever wanted. So like I was just a ball of nerves. I asked him, hey, can you take me? My dad offered to take the day off of work so he could take me to the interview. And I was like, no, Dad, my bum-ass boyfriend can take me. He doesn't have anything going on. He's an Uber driver. It's basically like he's working. So sorry. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I get to my ex's house. You know, I'm sort of expecting this level of care. I'm expecting maybe a breakfast, maybe a coffee, maybe some kind of words of encouragement that's like, hey, this is a really big day for you. I know how hard you've worked for this. None of that. Instead, I get to his house. He's not outside waiting for me, despite knowing how stressed I was about being late. I call him, I say, hi, I'm here. Can you come outside? He comes outside and he says, sorry, I have to get gas. I say, why are you getting gas right now? Why didn't you already have gas? We get in the car. He's driving kind of like a maniac because now he's worried that he's gonna make me late. It's not calm at all. It's like a lot of road rage. We get to the gas station. This man starts trying to talk to him because the man is like confused and the man doesn't speak English. My ex snaps at him and yells at him. It's like, I can't deal with this right now. Vibes are so horrific, so bad. I'm just sitting there angry because I'm like just trying to focus on this interview because it's like the biggest interview for me. And I'm so mad at him. And I'm just like thinking like I should have just had my dad take me. I don't know why I let this guy take me to this. Those were not the vibes that I was trying to achieve when I asked for you, my partner, my boyfriend, to take me to something very important. That was actually strike one because that happened before Europe and that happened before him getting his job, but I just said that out of order. In total, those are 3 strikes. Now, fast forward, we're at the dinner where we're celebrating his new job. He's telling me that I'm not happy enough for him. In that moment, I say, I'm breaking up with you. Not out loud, but in my head, I say, oh, I'm done. Like, I'm done. The next day I said, hey, can you come over? He came over and I said, this isn't gonna work for me anymore. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, they're finally lining up. You have your career, I just got my job. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this with you anymore. He's like, well, I don't allow this. Like, we're not breaking up. Like, we're staying together. We're gonna sort this out. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I broke up with him in that moment. The breakup lasted for a year. And if you want to know how that year went, I can let you know. It was not a clean breakup. I feel like he really played me for a fool during that year-long breakup. But honestly, thank God he did, because I'm so thankful to not be with him anymore. Those were the 3 things that made me break up with him. It was not because any of the other things that I had previously mentioned. So clearly struggled with self-esteem and self-worth issues. What I've always known about myself and what I have never wavered on is I know I'm smart, I know I'm hardworking, and I know that I'm successful. And I think when that really came into fruition, when I got the job that there were only 10 positions for, when I passed the California bar exam the first time, I became an attorney at 24. When all that happened and that solidified and then I had no other goals to fulfill and I was like, whoa, I was still dealing with this BS from this child. I was like, no. I clearly didn't think enough about myself to walk away when somebody was blatantly defying my trust when it came to his interactions with other girls and women. I am exactly where I need to be, and you're still figuring it out and expecting me to guide you 12 years later. I'm done. You figure it out. So I broke up with him. My breakup was a year and it was messy and it was gross, and that was when I grew to really dislike him as a person. Why did my breakup last a year? Let me tell you. I'll tell you. Okay, I broke up with him in February. We're together from ages 13 to 25. When you are with someone for that long, it's almost inconceivable to picture a life without them. I grew up with him. At that point, my entire adult life was with him. I thought we were going to get back together. When I broke up with him, I said that. I said, look, we need to figure our own lives out for now, but we'll find our way back to each other in the future. I think we don't talk for like a month, which at that point was the longest I had ever gone without talking to him. So we break up in February. Maybe sometime around April, we start talking again. We check in. We're texting again. He ends up coming over. We end up talking. I still feel like, yeah, I don't want to be with this person. Like, I'm feeling good about our breakup. Then that month, we keep texting. We keep talking. And it sort of feels like we're acting like we're back in a relationship again. At one point, he comes over and he lets me know, hey, by the way, I've been talking to this girl. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I'm on Tinder. We've been talking. This is 3 months after I break up with him, 3 months after him being in a 12-year relationship. So I'm like, what are we doing then? If you're talking to this other girl, why are you still talking to me? And he's like, well, that girl doesn't really mean anything to me. That's just a girl I met on Tinder. I still want to be with you. Now, suddenly, my perspective shifts. And suddenly, I went from being so good and so right about our breakup to my, like, insecure, zero self-worth, zero self-esteem kicking in, anxious attachment kicking in. And I'm like, I need this man. That man's mine. I need him. I tell him, no, I want to get back together with you. He goes, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm like, no. What do you mean? What do you mean we need to get back together? He's like, no. Now I'm spiraling. Now I'm in the trenches all over again. I'm telling him, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I want to make it work. He is like, no, I'm not ready to get back together yet. I want to keep exploring what's going on here. But he keeps saying, but I want to be with you. At the end of all of this, I want to be with you. I want to marry you. But you broke up with me for a reason. And so I think I should explore these other things in the meantime. I, the dumb bitch that I am, that I was like, okay, I deserve this. Like, I'm the one who broke up with you. You never wanted to break up. I'm the one who broke up with you. Who am I to control the breakup like this? Fine, you're right. You go have fun. You go explore. I'll be ready. I'll be here. Ready when you want to get back together. And I like really believed that this was my person. That he loved me and that this was just part of our journey. For months, I am fully aware that he is hooking up with me, talking to me, texting to me, coming over to my place, treating me like we're in a relationship, but also doing the same with another girl. He is at my apartment when this girl is calling him at 11 o'clock at night. I don't think that girl knew that I was involved like this. And in some sick way, that made me feel special. That made me feel like, oh yeah, me and him have this thing going and she has no idea. Sick in the fucking head. Again, for this breakup, I got a life coach, I got a therapist. I did that for a year. I'm really good where I'm at right now, but it took me years to deal with this. And even editing these videos that I've been posting, listening to them back, I was like, Jez, babe, were you okay? No, I wasn't. His birthday is in August. I spend his birthday with him. I buy him a little cake. I write him a card saying how much he means to me. He cries. He's like, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, like, are we ready to get back together yet? Are you done with this little phase that you're doing? He's like, no. Now, during this period, I kind of off and on am like having periods of like, I can't talk to you then. So we would have like weeks where we wouldn't talk, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I end up finding that girl's Instagram. I stalk her. She fully blocks my Instagram. Honestly, girl, if you're seeing this, my bad. That was on me. I'm so sorry for that. I wasn't in a good place. He's ignoring me one day and I start spiraling and I go to her Instagram. I see that she posted to her story a picture of her in his car with his hand on her thigh and they're like on a date, and I start blowing up his phone to the point where he blocks me. The next day he calls me and he's like, you can't be acting like this. Like, you know that I'm with this girl. You cannot be acting like this. And I'm like, I can't talk to you. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Then we're just done. So then I go on a period of not talking to him. Talk for maybe like a month. He hits me back up and he's like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm just like, are you still talking to that girl? And he's like, yeah, but it's like nothing. It's like not serious. I'm like, okay, then like leave me alone. Of course that doesn't work. And we start talking all over again. I want to stress that we are hooking up. We are acting like we're together, except he gets to do whatever he wants. And I get to just shame spiral and blame myself and say, this is what I deserve. My last straw is in October when she posts a picture of them to her grid and it's got a pumpkin patch. She's holding a pumpkin. He is holding her from behind as if she's pregnant with their child. And then I'm like, oh, this is not nothing to her. Like, she thinks that you guys are fully dating or Can I say something else? And I'm going to say something else. Her contact name on his phone was Creamy Anime Thighs. Creamy Anime Thighs. Okay. So this is the man that both she and I were entertaining. I'm telling you, it was during the breakup where I was like, this guy is not shit. So I see that picture, I screenshot it, I sent it to him. I said, this is clearly not nothing to her. Clearly what you're doing and what she's doing are different. And I know this all too well because that was me. I tell him, this is done. I don't want to get back together with you. I'm done. Leave me alone. We don't talk for like a month. Of course, Thanksgiving rolls around. He texts me. He sends me this long text about, I miss you and I've been thinking about you and like, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. This is our first Thanksgiving out with each other, blah, blah, blah. We end up texting. I end up inviting him over. He comes over to my house after my family leaves. He tells me, hey, I want you to know that I'm no longer talking to that girl anymore. I ended it. I said, oh, okay. He's me being the dumb girl that I am. I'm like, well, what does this mean for us? He's like, something is in the works career-wise, and once that is finalized, like, then I want to ask you to be my girlfriend again. Like, I'm really trying to make this right again. And I'm like thinking, oh wow, growth. Okay, what's in the works? He's like, I don't want to tell you. He talked to one of my friend's husbands. Okay, let's name him Sam. Or can I just say his name? I'm just gonna say his name. His name's Adrian. Hi, Adrian and Aurora, if you're watching. He says, I talked to Adrian. Adrian knows my whole plan. I'm like, that's my friend's husband. I mean, they were friends because they knew each other for so long, but like, why are you talking to Adrian about it? There's this other girl who's now on my radar. And I say, okay, you're not talking to Creamy Anime Thighs anymore, but what about this other girl? Because at that point, again, I'm still sick in the head. I'm stalking. This girl exists now. Who is she? He goes, oh, she's just a friend. I met her at work, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I see the comments that you comment. They don't seem like they're just a friend comment. Like, I want to be with you. Like, you're who I want to be with. Like, you are everything to me. And I'm like, okay. We hook up that night, of course. Why wouldn't we? He leaves my apartment. The next morning, I immediately call Adrian and Aurora. And I said, Spill, what the hell is he talking about? Adrian tells me, all right, like, don't say anything. But he's supposed to get his offer in January. Once he gets his offer in January, he's going to ask you to be his girlfriend. Adrian is like, he talked to me and said he doesn't want to ask you to be his girlfriend because you clearly have a career. You're clearly established. established, you're living in your own place, blah blah blah. He doesn't have anything to show for himself. He wants to have his shit together before he tries to start something new with you again. He wants to do it the right way. I say, okay. After spending Thanksgiving together, he comes to my apartment quite often. We spend Christmas together. He comes over New Year's Eve. We spend New Year's Eve together. We are talking, texting, hooking up, acting like we're together. But this other girl, though, is still in the picture. This new girl is still in the picture. I found her Instagram, and I would see that she would post pictures of them at dinner, pictures of him at her place. What does she think is going on? Because clearly it looks like she thinks she's dating you, and you're telling me that you love me and you want to be with me. Like, you just gotta trust me. Like, I don't know why you just won't trust me. I'm like, okay, fine. So I just blindly trust him. Also because he's talked to my friend Adrian and told my friend Adrian all this. I'm just like, why would you say that to Adrian if, like, you didn't mean that, if that's not what you were gonna do? The comments that he leaves on this girl's pictures are humiliating for me. I'm seeing this man who supposedly loves me, who supposedly wants to be with me, who supposedly wants to marry me, who supposedly blah 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 blah, commenting the most like cringe things on this other girl's. Example, there was a picture burned in my brain. She's wearing like a black sports bra and she looks good, and it's like so it's sports bra, it's leggings, she looks good, she looks great, whatever. She's posting a mirror selfie. He comments on that picture and goes, imagine if everyone knew what you looked like underneath all the black. Okay, you've seen her naked, we get it. Public comment. Okay, and this is my man, I thought. So none of this is feeling right to me, but I keep leaning into the fact that we spent Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve together. Like, that felt like that meant something to me. Also, I had devoted 12 years of my life to this person, so I felt like he wouldn't do me so crazy dirty. Silly. He told my friend Adrian that this was his big plan. So why would you tell my friends that if that's not what you meant? Hook up New Year's Eve. My birthday is 10 days later, January 10th. And throughout that week, we're texting, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna do anything for my birthday? And he's being so weird and so evasive with me, and I'm just like, my birthday comes, he doesn't text me happy birthday. He actually fully ghosts me that weekend. It was my 26th birthday. I was crying all day that day. 2 a.m. Something is telling me, like, I think he's with that girl. I go to her Instagram story. She's with him. Something about them having this weekend together. Ghosted me to be with this other girl, this girl that he didn't care about. But I completely block him at that point. I never blocked him before. That was a first for me. Mind you, we broke up in February. Okay, this is now January of the next year. I block him. He has his little brother reach out to me, and his little brother's like, hey, he's really sad. Can you unblock him? Can you talk to him? I'm like, no, your brother can fuck right off. And I'm like, sorry, I love you. I don't mean to get you involved in this, but yeah, like maybe 2 weeks after that, he asked that girl to be his girlfriend. And there was a sinister part of me that wanted to DM her and be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but we've been fucking since, well, we've actually never stopped. But I didn't. None of my business. About 2 years sober on him. It took me a long time to get through this. And that's the thing. 5 years later, I can finally talk about this in a way that's like completely removed from the situation. He bounced from me to another girl to now his current girlfriend. He makes homes in women. That's his MO. After I blocked him in January, I think I reached out to him maybe like a year after, because I had gone through therapy and I felt good. And I wanted to reach out to him because I was like, oh, we grew up together. And so I always kind of felt like, despite everything that happened, it would be nice to be civil and cordial and like really cared about his family. I hit him up and I said, hey, and he sent me this snarky message back. I know that you know I have a girlfriend. If you wanted to start any kind of friendship with me, you should have acknowledged my girlfriend first. That would have been respectful. I have no interest in knowing you. I don't want to be a friend. I don't want to be an acquaintance. I don't even want to text you here and then. And then he says, and you have my Kanye West hoodie. Please return that. Bitch, you have my $10,000. You return that, I'll return this. Tell you what. And that was it. I haven't talked to him in years. I don't intend to ever speak to him again. He is a bit of a cancer in my mind. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what kind of person he is today. I'm not commenting on his character today. That was just my experience with him. And maybe he's God's gift to women now, although I find that hard to believe because he still owes me money, and I do think God's gift to women would pay back the women that they've wronged. Anyway, that's my story. I didn't think I was ever going to share it, but here we are. You're allowed to talk about your experiences, and if people don't like the way that they're portrayed in your experiences, they shouldn't have done those things.
I went on a date with somebody that is an influencer. At first I didn't really, whenever we started talking, texting, I didn't know they were an influencer. They just told me that they made videos. But I went on one date and she made 3 TikToks in total about me that I know of. Because now I'm blocked. I cannot even see if she has kept posting. Probably not, hopefully not, because I'll be not. But she made a TikTok before the date, a TikTok about the date, and a TikTok about me calling it off after one date. Mind you, maybe I came a little bit strong for her understanding. I work in trades. I'm a set dresser. I build furniture for a living. So my idea for a first date, she's just moved into her apartment, and she's been telling me over and over again that she needed some things built, like a vanity set and her bed frame. And that's light work for me. Like, that's literally what I do. So it's like, I thought it would be a nice, thing to do for our first date, to like go get dinner, and I'll help you with your shit. And then we talk and we like move on from that, right? Pretty soon in the day, since the beginning, I understood that we were not gonna be compatible, because it's like the way that she carries herself is like she is. And then I let her find out she acts the same that she acts online, she acts in person. At no point did I feel that she ever relaxed or like put her, like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was talking to like a TikTok character the whole time. It was just really odd. And also she was not nice to like the people that we were, like, we went to buy some things to like fix her things at home. And she was mean, not mean, but like didn't have basic manners. Whenever it comes to like asking, hey, where are the cleaning supplies? Not even that. You just like pull up to the worker and be like, cleaning supplies. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? I don't know. That was weird. That was really weird. And she keeps saying like she doesn't care about celebrities, and that's literally all she talks about. Which is okay if you care about celebrities, but don't act like you don't care about celebrities and then just talk about that. She has some, I'm not gonna top point another of the one of the biggest reasons why I decided to call the whole thing off since early, because she really obviously ignored it in her videos. I gave that one of the main reasons, but she did not decide to talk about that, I guess. But man, like, if you guys see the videos that I'm talking about, people in the comments after the day one, they were like, oh my god, you found the love of your life, you guys are getting married, when are you guys moving in together? And she's like eating it up in the comments, saying like, oh, I hope soon, I really hope this is, I do believe this is the one date. We went on one date. One day, shorty. That was so intense. I'm never going out with anybody from this app again. Also, why the fuck do you think that you have fans, or like people are trying to date you for your followers? Maybe that's the case. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have such a small account that I cannot possibly understand. But like, why you acting like you Beyonce, bro? I cannot do this.
So my best friend who died, she died like 4 years ago. So she died in 2020, I think, or 2021. She just had her birthday, which was October 20th, right? And I always text her and like just check in and like, just I talk to her all the time. Hey, don't do it. That's a bad idea. So when she first died, I would have dreams about her. Like, I had like a couple dreams, like literally, I think just 2 dreams about her. And the first dream was like we were like hanging out and having fun and like all this stuff. And then I would just like randomly be like, oh my god, she's dead, right? Like I'd like remember in my dream that she was dead, and I'd be like, oh no, like I'm so sad, right? Like I'm in a dream but she's like actually dead. And then she'd be like, what's wrong, like why are you so upset? And I would be like, oh my god, you can't tell her, right? So I would just like go on about like our day, like whatever we were doing in the dream, and like I would just like pretend to be happy even though I knew that she was dead. And then the next dream, the same kind of thing happened, and then I was like, like, oh my god, she's dead, like she doesn't know that she's dead. And the same thing happened. She's like, what's wrong, and I'm like, nothing, it's fine, whatever. Then I had another dream. Okay, this is the last one that I had for a while. I knew you were gonna do that. She got exiled from the room. Okay, so I had another dream, and we were like hanging out at like one of my old apartments, and like that was like where we were. And she was in the kitchen like cooking, and her back was facing towards me. She was like cooking something, and I like walked up to her, and she looked really upset. And I was like, hey, like, what's wrong? Like, is everything okay? And she's like, why the fuck would I be okay? I'm fucking dead. Like, why would anything be okay? I'm fucking dead. And then in that moment in the dream, I was like, oh my god, she knows. Like, she figured it out. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? And then I didn't dream about her for years. That was like 2021, like right when she died, maybe early 2022. And then I think it was her, I don't know, maybe it was last birthday or like her death anniversary or something. Yeah, so maybe like actually maybe more recent. I don't know. Anyways, I was texting her and I was like, can you please come visit me in my dreams? Please, please, please. Like, I miss you. Like, I haven't dreamt about you in so long. Like, da da da, you know? And like, I would text her literally like every single day. And like, if you don't believe in this type of shit and you think I'm fucking full of shit, then like, that's fine. You can scroll. But like, I was texting her literally like, please, 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 like, come to me. Like, I literally want to see you so bad. Like, I want to hang out with you. And I had a dream about her. Like, literally, I think like 3 days later, or like 4 days later, after texting her every single day, she came into my dreams and she was not the same. She was not happy. She was not like having a good time. It was almost like, I don't think that she's crossed over fully yet. And so like, it might be taking a lot of energy for her to like come into dreams and like kind of like bring herself into like this kind of realm, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like she's in purgatory, which makes me really sad because I'm like, I just feel like she's not fully there yet. And like, I know that like time moves differently like once you die. Like, for us, like, you know, 4 or 5 years like seems like forever. Like, you should have already been gone by now. But like, to them, like, we don't know. Fucking time is infinite. Like, it could be anything. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see like a sidekick or something so I can like help her move the fuck on. But I'm like, ugh, she's just like not the same. She was not fucking having it. And I was like, okay, I'll stop bothering you.